The CS2 Budapest Major has had heartbreak, miracles, and straight up disasters. Let's break down the top 8 stories that you need to know from stage 1 and 2. GamerLegion was wildly expected to go through to stage 2. Yet at this major, they just looked lost and confused with upset losses against Fluxo and Red Canids. The loss against the Red Canids wasn't even close with a 13-6 loss on train.
All you've got to do is hide, and Cowards wins the 1v1 by just cowering away. It's going to be Red Canids coming with an upset victory on day 1 of the major. They sent GamerLegion down to a 0-2 record.
GamerLegion survived their first elimination match though against Rare Atom, where they did perform well, but Rare Atom was arguably the worst team in stage 1. The next matchup though was against Paravision, which was also really close. Both maps went into overtime, but in the end, GamerLegion couldn't close it out. Map 1 was Overpass, they lost 16-14. Map number 2 was Ancient, where they lost 16-12, and which eliminated them from the major. So many pick'ems were devastated from this, as many thought they would make it through to stage 2.
He's actually fully exposed on quick scope to the brain, point blank, James dead. Time is of the essence, and he's gone on 3. Huge moment for CTR, who played lights out back on map 1. Ash can't even watch. And as he moves forward, it's 1 for CTR, but he gets swarmed, and Paravision live on at the expense of the GamerLegion.
That is absolutely brutal.
In stage 2, we got to see 4 out of the 8 teams that progressed through stage 1 make it through to stage 2. These teams were Imperial Esports, Faze, B8, and Paravision. All 4 of these teams barely made it through stage 1, with Faze, Imperial Esports, and Paravision only advancing in their final matches of the stage. Then in stage 2, these teams performed well, with Faze going 3-0 and Imperial Esports, B8, and Paravision advancing in round 4. B8 Imperial Esports only lost to NaVI, which was one of the best teams in stage 2.
We see something we've not witnessed since 2021. They've done it. Paravision top 16.
Imperial secure it. What a battle, what a brawl. 13-11 is there. Stage 3 locked in for Imperial. Pedal to the metal, Beta in stage 3.
This leaves the question, does warming up really affect your performance? With these performances, it tends to make me believe that yes, it does matter quite significantly. Teams in stage 2 that we thought would make it through, that didn't play in stage 1, well, they struggled and failed, like Aurora and Tyloo. Also, playing through to round 5 seems to have even better effects because you come into stage 2 hot and ready, where if you're 3-0 off the start, like FlyQuest in stage 1, you have a break and your performance is impacted. The 2 teams that went 3-0 in stage 1 struggled through stage 2 and even were eliminated.
The end for FlyQuest. Their major quest has come to a close.
Live, it was such a hard-fought battle to get back into the majors, and they weren't going to let it go to waste by just kind of bowing out here in stage 2. FlyQuest and that stage 1 performance is so far back in our memories.
NaVI was one of those 2 top 10 teams, the other Aurora coming into stage 2. NaVI has been chasing their legacy for some time, as they used to be one of the best, if not the best team in Counter-Strike. This year was some fall off and struggles, as they would only win 1 singular tournament, the Star Series Fall 2025. However, their last major win was at Copenhagen in March 2024, which wasn't that long ago.
NaVI's highest height in years, and the gamble of taking breakout players from Paris and molding them in their image pays off.
NaVI showed why they are a top team at this stage. They breezed through the competition, dominating FlyQuest 13-2 in round 1, and then a 13-10 victory against Imperial Esports. The promotional match was against B8, where they also looked good. All players were performing. They were winning trades and not just giving B8 a chance to answer back effectively.
Hetrick will join him. They have the numbers advantage, but Wonderful has the weaponry. An AK-47, that one-tap potential, doesn't connect onto the first burst. Closing the gap, running him down, does isolate. Didn't get too much damage inflicted. 8 bullets to work with for Wonderful. Tracking him, loud, trundling forward. Not going to be enough. Wonderful comes up clutch to keep NaVI's sheet clean.
NaVI demonstrated that they are giving their all for this major, and if they continue to play this well, they have a chance to make it to playoffs. Aurora was the most anticipated team to make it out of Stage 2 and was one of the top teams in the stage by ranking. They came in hot after a fantastic win at PGL Masters Bucharest. See our other video in the link down below. And that had the entire Turkish community support. First match was against M80, a dominating victory with a 13-6 win on Dust 2. The second round was against Faze, which led to a 10-13 close loss, but that's fine. It's Faze, right? Nope. These seem to be the repetition for Aurora with an 11-13 loss against Paravision to put them into elimination matches. The elimination match was against Astralis, another team that has had a terrible run and has been fighting to avoid elimination. Aurora should have no issue taking a victory against Astralis.
In these A-hits, flashes are good, and they try to play through it right in to Stare. On a tear right now, 4 kills deep and looking for the ace. This would come from nowhere. He goes looking for space, playing it forward. He'll get picked up. Device Orb fires off for a double on the flank, but it's only Magisk now. 1v3. Here's Jota on the ramp. Knows he's got a 1v1 in front of him. He's going to take it cleanly. No one else was moving in for Aurora. Nice. Magisk steals himself away, buying as much time as possible, but as he wraps in through the smoke, Magisk onto something now. Woxic has to end this, and it's all Magisk all day.
Aurora just didn't look good and not in form with so many wrong calls, missed shots, and terrible challenges caused them to lose the match 1-2 and to be eliminated from the major. They were the first top 10 team to be eliminated from the major, which is not something to be happy about. What happened to Aurora? They had historically played so well, but their performance in Stage 2 just showed either 1, a lack of preparation, or 2, just bad luck. Lynn Vision represented China in Stage 1 and has previously made a crazy run at the last major in Austin. Amelia is by far the face of the team, not for his skill, but for his personality. It's just something else.
Only one round I don't like.
What?
When you did the ninja defuse against Brazilians in the Anubis.
We all couldn't wait for his reactions to the winning matches, but this would never come. Lynn Vision's performance was horrible, and that's a nice way to put it. A 5-13 loss to Faze, followed up by a 2-13 loss to NiP, immediately put them up for elimination. Their elimination match was against the Huns, which followed similar poor performances with a 7-13 loss on Ancient and then an 8-13 loss on Dust 2. We will have to wait longer to see Amelia's fantastic personality.
You can always come back stronger, yeah?
我们还有很多比赛呢，没事的。
And tell them it's not about individual performance, it's a team, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Stage 2 had Tyloo, which also had some great performances historically, and they did well, right?
Putting inside of the B site, you got all of Paravision here. Why would they ever think Bomb is still in T-spawn, Launders? Why would they ever think that?
I don't know.
In fact, why would it ever happen?
Well, they did win their first match against Paravision pretty dominantly, but then the team couldn't find the wins after. An 8-13 loss against NiP in round 2, followed then to a 10-13 loss to M80 in round 3, put them on the verge of elimination. That match was against Team Liquid, and it was a close one with G having some crazy clutches to try and hold on.
It's just G in the picture now for Tyloo. I don't know. There's the first, G closing in, that gets NaV off of this bomb plant, and he tries to answer it with the swing. G makes him regret it, and look at that. Again, they demand more from their captain. G here on a good timing at least. Gets around early, gonna try and give this a go. Walks it in. Oh, G!
Unfortunately, it was not enough for Liquid. They would go on to win map 3 in overtime, securing the victory 2-1 and eliminating Tyloo. Stage 3 just has the Mongols left to represent the Asia region, and we can only hope that the misfortune does not follow. Brazil has been an uprising, dominant area in Counter-Strike, and in Stage 1, we saw 4 Brazilian teams. We had Imperial, Legacy, Fluxo, and Red Canids. This was 1/4 of the teams competing in the Stage 1, which should allow them to have great odds to progress to Stage 2. Though in thought this was possible, however, in reality, everyone saw something different.
All Brazilian teams were so close that we would not be talking about them right now in this segment about losers, but they were so close that we were going to be talking about winners.
Imperial Esports was the only Brazilian team to progress out of the Stage 2, which many did not expect and even had them as their 0-3 picks. Legacy was one of the most anticipated teams to progress out of Stage 1, but faltered to get past BA and Paravision. Their match against Paravision was close with the final map Dust 2 even going into double OT, but ultimately Legacy lost.
This is James from the depths and Sads into the open. A Legacy born in Austin is a Legacy cut short in Budapest.
Red Canids and Fluxo both couldn't close out any best-of-3 matches, with Red Canids being eliminated by Faze in round 4 and Fluxo having 3 chances to make it through, but they just couldn't. They faced FlyQuest and lost 0-2 in a frankly embarrassing series, then against NiP, which was another embarrassing loss, and then finally against Faze, which was much closer, but they ended up losing 1-2.
Reveals it needs the multi. Carrigan delivering. Surely not, Fluxo. You had the 2-man advantage. Now Brokey and Carrigan really do have an opportunity to knock you out, smash your major dreams. It's not planned for him. He can actually just go for this. Is this really how it ends? A defuse to end it all. Incendiary spreads and FaZe Clan have done it.
Stage 2 saw Imperial and MIBR as the 2 Brazilian teams. Imperial progressed through with an opening victory against MIBR, but then a loss to NaVI in round 2 and a win against Fnatic in round 3 to set them up against M80 for the promotional series to Stage 3. Imperial will go on to win this series in a close fight 2-1 to secure their Stage 3 appearance.
Not ready for this, Chad. Hex is booked. 1 tap to the back of the head. Oh, he's got him. Surely, Sid's got 4 HP. A HE on your end, son. See you later. It's on to Hex in that clutch. 2 to find is Cello and Try. They're right there for the taking. 1 more required for OT, and it's there. Imperial secure it. What a battle, what a brawl. 13-11 is there. Stage 3 locked in for Imperial.
Everyone wants America to become great again in Counter-Strike. And so far in this major, we are getting our dream, right? In Stage 1, America had M80 and NRG representing, and both teams started off well. M80 took down BA and Paravision to go 2-0, and NRG bit NiP and Faze to go 2-0, but keep in mind these were best of 1. The kicker is that M80 and NRG ended up playing against each other in a matchup to secure the spot for Stage 2.
Well, it could be around the pushing mode. They're coming, charging in, P250 unload. Oh, and just on the last bullet, Hex holds on to it just in time. Sonic dips away, spams through the smoke to make it a 2-on-2. Low HP, 1 HP on Sonic. They can't seem to finish him off. Finally, Slacks fells in, but he got another as well. Slacks in the clutch, and he delivers. You know, they may not always have the best players, but they got the best banter. Lake with a double kill. Oh, it's just too quick, too easy. M80 making light work of NRG. Not even a game, not even a competition.
Yeah, these last 2 best of 3s, FlyQuest and now M80 have taken care of business. Stage 2.
M80 though would dominate NRG in this matchup with a 13-7 win on Dust 2 and a 13-2 win on Mirage. NRG followed this by struggle after struggle with a 1-2 loss to Fnatic and then a humiliating defeat against Imperial Esports.
And only Exotic remains. Imperial, they swarm over NRG for a clean close and a clean qualification.
Going into Stage 2, M80 joined Passion UA, which is pretty much the old Complexity roster, as they signed 4 of their members. M80 didn't have a terrible start to Stage 2, where they did lose their first match against Aurora, but followed it up with a win against Astralis and another win against Tyloo to have them set with a promotional series against Imperial Esports. This matchup was kinda close, but M80 just couldn't close it out. Map 1 was Mirage, where they would lose 11-13, then Map 2 was Dust, 13-2 victory, but Map 3 was Train, which was another 11-13 loss. This pushed M80 to the final round of Stage 2, but before we go into their opponent, we need to look at the actual other US team, Passion UA.
What about that try scout?
I got the C4 at least.
They don't know where NaVI is. They don't have confirmation as both, and try peeks back in to finish off on Switch. That's a nice conversion. Just a saved scout and a couple of pistols. Try with 3 in the round.
Passion UA, aka Complexity, had a kind of rough start to Stage 2 with a loss to Faze in round 1, a win against MIBR in round 2, but a loss to 3D Max puts them on the verge of elimination. Their elimination match though was against Fnatic, a team many didn't think would get this far. But Passion UA showed they are the better team. Fnatic struggled against Passion UA with a 0-2 loss, and Passion just was holding on going into the final stage.
Server here, another kill, but it's Grim to close it out. Fnatic thought they had found the way to decipher their problems, but in Budapest they fall in Stage 2.
Impressive second map for Passion, an impressive way to show up today.
Where they would meet up against M80. And we are guaranteed at least an American team in Stage 3 due to the teams playing against each other.
Backstab denied. It wasn't through adding complexity, it was simplicity, it was pace, it was confidence, it was passion.
The series started off close on Map 1, which was Mirage, with M80 winning it 13-11. But after that, M80 just kinda collapsed. Map 2 was Inferno, Passion UA would win that 13-5, and then Map 3 was Train, where there'd be another win for them, 13-7, sending M80 home. Faze started off at their major run in Stage 1. They would win their first matchup against Lynn Vision, but followed it up with a depressing loss against NRG. I mean, Brokey would only get 8 kills during this match, just to give some perspective. They followed this up with another loss to Ninjas in Pajamas to put them into the brink of elimination going against the Red Canids.
Trade potential denied as the doors get closed in front of history. And as he presses the M4 in, he's gotten yet another. Kerrigan has to deliver right here, right now. In the face of a smoke and a defuse kit, he's not positioned for the bomb. And as Kerrigan swings wide, he'll stop it. Faze Clan to overtime.
Woo!
He has had Brokey's number all night long, and they don't know. He's right here on the brink. Twist to the corner. Missed shot. Twist thrives.
What?
Not gonna let Frozen's efforts all go down for nothing.
He's got to use his brain for this.
And Frozen has been world class throughout this series. And his bomb is planted in the back cubby. Frozen's got him dead to rights. Faze Clan survived.
Luckily, Faze came out on top in this match with a 2-1 victory to secure their spot in Stage 2, but it left fans questioning if they could really even make it through.
And there's no way that Faze are impressed with themselves in this entire series, but I feel as though Red Canids have simply just awoken the beast.
However, anyone who doubted Faze were proven wrong in Stage 2. The first match was against the Americans, the old Complexity roster, and well, Faze would win in a close 13-10.
The shot, Holzer off the angle, Jacob taking the space, he's gone down the Holzer, Grim still fighting, they're pulling this back, but then the shots come in. Brokey and Twist will close it out. Faze have their opening win here in Stage 2.
Brokey looked like he was finally awake, getting 20 kills with 13 deaths to carry Faze to victory. Next up was Aurora, arguably one of the best teams in Stage 2. Faze took that victory too after Twist and Jacob put on a fantastic performance despite Brokey only getting 5 kills in a 23-round match. One thing is for certain, Frozen had one of the best sprays to end the series so far for Faze.
It's a good position, and Aurora don't have a flash. You have to just walk this in. This could be multiple kills.
Yeah, you need to deal with Frozen quickly. Matches off it up first. Frozen! The Iceman! And Faze through to 2-0.
The final matchup against Ninjas in Pajamas, a rematch from Stage 1. This series became one of the best series of Stage 2 with Faze refusing to give up. The first map was on Inferno, while Nip ended the first half up 9-3. Faze clawed it back, getting the match all the way back to 11-11, but Kaspersky had this insane clutch.
Frozen gets the better of it on the short side. Kaspersky from inside pit kills 2, shoots through smoke, exposes both, and clutches out as Faze Clan were on a tear.
Faze wasn't deterred from this as they followed this round up with a miraculous B-site retake with only MP9 and a dream for overtime.
Retake with no kit featured. Frag grenade chucked out by Brokey. Op's gonna have to be a part of this. Twist trying to get his. Brokey over the shoulder collects, and as they start to push this in, it's now gonna be Shush 1v3 point blank, jumping MP9.
Faze would end up winning the first map after pushing it into overtime with a 16-12 victory and moved on to map 2, Nuke. Nuke was a close series with the first half ending with Nip being up 7-5, and in the second half Nip even got it to 11-8, making it look like an easy victory. Faze, however, managed to win the next 4 rounds in a row to get it to 12-11 until Nip was finally able to answer back, pushing it into another overtime. Faze clean sweeped Nip in overtime like in map 1, but Snappy almost took a round for Nip.
That right now, save his team. But Brokey's got him scoped up already. What? Snappy turns his back around, now in anticipation. But as long as Brokey keeps Snappy preoccupied, you know Kerrigan's gonna get closer to that bomb site. Brokey with the pistol, baits out the shots, draws Snappy ever closer. He is simply playing with him in his mind. And then the headshot comes out, and Kerrigan's sitting on top of this with the defuse kit. 5-second defuse, and Kerrigan's here to close it. The same guy that kept this team in this major with 0.4 seconds from surviving to thriving. We see something we've not witnessed since 2021.
Just like that, Faze made it through to Stage 3 and are set to see if they can compete with the big dogs. Is there anything we missed? What was your favorite moment so far in the major? Like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date of what's happening in esports.